The last 2 times I made you do it, so I was like, let me
No, you did the last 2
No,
times.
the last 2 you did it.
No, you did it.
Oh, then please go ahead.
No, now I don't want to.
I will open.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, you guys ready?
Yeah. Hi, guys. Welcome back to Confessions of a Desi Drama Queen. We are your hosts,
Welcome.
Amna and Sana. Welcome back.
Oh my God, we're so happy to be here.
We've been on a hiatus. We've been away. When we were driving here, we were saying it felt like it's been like a year since we've come in. And then we came in and we were like, oh.
And then we came in and we were like, home, Luke.
And then we were like, do this, put this on this, and this on this. And we want to sit on this angle. So there's a fan going.
Because we have so much to catch up on.
So much to catch up on. And the whole car ride here, we were like, don't talk about that.
Yeah.
Don't talk about that. Don't
Literally,
talk
we
about
would start any conversation and I was like, just save it for the pod.
that. I know, and now we're going to forget.
No, we're gonna. And then as soon as we walk in the door,
It was
I'm
like,
like,
what did
I'm
we say?
fully gonna forget everything we just said.
Yeah. But we are really excited to be back. It feels really good to be back. And we're going to jump straight into our confession because we have a lot to get through. Okay.
Let's do it.
So our first confession is.
And this one, can I just say,
Please.
this is so exciting because we didn't have to pull it out of anyone. You know what I mean? We didn't have to be like, guys, tell us something. It was willing and please.
And we had to
continue.
be like, oh, which one should we?
Yeah.
Like this one,
We had
this one,
options.
this one. And
It was
we were
so
like,
exciting that we're like willingly given.
Yes.
Anyways.
So thank you guys so much. And send in more. Obviously, it like fuels us and makes us feel alive. Okay. So our confession for today is, hi, I'm a consultant clinical psychologist and I have a confession. A client came to me and told me her world shattered when she uncovered her husband is cheating on her. Tale as old as time. With his phone password unknown to her, she waited for the perfect moment. Pause. You should write books because you're creating a narrative. Like, I feel like I'm reading an actual book. She said with his phone password unknown to her, she waited for the perfect
not
moment.
know his password? Okay, continue.
Yep. When he fell asleep, she swiftly swapped. When she fell asleep, she swiftly swapped SIM cards, accessing
Say
his
that 3 times.
WhatsApp. Dude, I've been watching Love Island too much, and I've been
Love
saying.
Island.
Okay. So, Love Island. And I feel like I'm only using Amayo's vocabulary. Like, I don't know any other way but to say anxiety.
Opportunity.
Yeah. I thank you for giving me the opportunity to start all over. Okay. So, when he fell asleep, she swiftly swapped SIM cards, accessing his WhatsApp. She got a text in parentheses, good morning, love. She traced the number, exposed the woman in front of her whole family, and beat her ass off. That's crazy.
The ass off is sending me like,
Yeah.
not just beat her ass, she beat
her
her
ass
ass off.
And the best part is she put like 3 laughing emojis.
Okay.
Wow. I thought when I started it and it said I'm a consultant clinical psychologist and she has a confession, I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're drugging them? What are you doing? Like,
Dude, watch
Tale as
too
old as
many documentaries.
I have.
Tale as old as time.
I'm like, okay, so like this is a
Beauty
scandal.
and
What
the
is it? You know, I need to call Netflix. Like, I'm owning these rights. Speaking of owning these rights.
What?
Wait, we should react to this.
No,
We'll talk about it.
what?
Speaking of owning these rights, Usman sent us a screenshot. Meghan Markle has a podcast called Confessions of Being a, what is it? I
What
took
is
a screenshot.
it?
No, it's like
Do
a
you think
being
that's how
a,
people feel about ours? What is it?
obviously they're like,
You
who are you? What
think-
is it? Why did you show
No,
up
but
on my
no,
For You
but like-
page?
Like when they think confessions up, is it like, fuck, what's the rest of it?
Maybe.
Dude, tell
Maybe.
us. I need to know that. Okay, what is
It's
it?
Confessions of a Female Founder. So then we put up a poll being like, should we sue? Like, should we? Should we do it for the plot? Or like, you bitches are too broke. Obviously you shouldn't. And everyone voted for us to do it. I went in as myself and was like, no, we are
Wait,
too broke.
I literally screenshotted all the responses that were, no, you bitches are too broke. And I was cracking up because it's you, me, and my brother. There were some other girls in there too, and I'm like, whatever. Maybe you're funny. Maybe you're being a hater. I don't know, but if you're funny, I love it. And then, but my brother, I was like, you.
Which is funny because to us, he was like, do it.
Oh, yeah. Dude, it's so funny because he's like the biggest fan hater, and I love it. Like it's so, well, all of them are, all the boys.
They're such sassy queens. They're so sassy. This reminds me of, I saw last night, my TikTok was extra funny last night.
Dude, I get
Extra
so
funny.
jealous when you say that because mine is, dude, Muzi was looking at my TikTok, like my For You page, and he was like, your shit's not funny at all. And I was like, oh. So then I go on our podcast one because then I get like, I literally
Built it brick by
like,
brick.
I can literally tell what Amna's into right now, and she can tell
She
what
knows
I'm
my
into right
insecurities,
now
what I'm
because
looking up.
literally every other video is like girls talking about their nose job.
Yeah. Yep.
And some days it's leaning more like I love my ethnic nose, and some days it's leaning more
Like, which doctor in Turkey has best results for the cheapest price? Yeah.
And my guilty thing is like I'll do deep dives on a person, but it's sick.
Yeah.
It's sick.
It is. I'm like, Paige DeSerbo was coming up a lot. And I was like, I'm seeing a lot of Paige right now.
No, but then I'm like obsessed. I'm like, okay, so but like who's her fan? Like I just need to know everything. I need to know horoscopes. I need to know your backstory. Like if and she's like a influencer level one.
Yeah,
but then I
yeah.
had that with Teffy and I just can't move on.
Yeah.
And then if it's a celebrity, and now
Deep dive.
should we transition to no.
What?
Because I was gonna say a celebrity, but forget a celebrity, Love Island.
Love is Island. Like, we have to talk about Love Island. And the problem is, by the time we record this, you guys, by the time we record this,
we're recording today. And now the problem is like we have so much to say, but now we're gonna go home and watch tonight's episode.
and we're going to be behind.
And then we're gonna have more to say, and everything is gonna change by tomorrow night. And then by the time, and nobody watches After Sun
Nobody
on
watches
Saturday,
After
but
Sun.
by the time you guys watch Sunday and Monday and watch us on Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever, we're gonna be like, who knows? You know,
guys
the
might
whole
get-
show's gonna be different.
Yeah, you guys might get like, there's going to be a hard stop after this and to be like, hey guys, we're sitting in our living room. Guess what happened?
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah,
Oh my
blah.
God,
Like,
we
we're going to
have
have
to.
to because so much has
What if we did like a
happened.
Dear Diary every day?
We're going to
No, that's
have
too
to.
much.
You guys, actually, so confession, this is my first time watching Love Island through and through. I know, it's disgusting.
Okay,
I'm so sorry.
No. Please
Public
tell
apology.
the people how you feel about how Abdus won't watch it with you so that I can tell them how I felt about how when you wouldn't watch it with me last year.
Yes.
PPG, Miguel, last year. She wouldn't fucking watch it. I know. But she's going to watch it.
And
after
I am
this.
going to watch it now. And I was watching it on TikTok. So like, I know, I've heard PPG.
If anybody hasn't watched last season and only joined for this season, after the season's over, please with Amna watch last season.
No, well, let's watch it together. Like, it's actually taken over my life. Love Island has taken over my life. I haven't had a good reality show to watch, and I almost forgot what it was. Like,
Yeah, because you haven't been on reality TV
In
in
a
a little
minute.
minute, but it was, I'm so sorry. I just can't stop with the fucking moving the mic. But you used to be on it. It was like your daily thing.
and mostly, like I said, I think I said in the last episode, like Dr. Phil, Ellen, like Wendy Williams.
But you just like the psychological reality TV.
I
you know what
like
mean?
the
Like
like
the
they're
talk show vibe.
asking the person a specific question. I feel like I'm watching a science experiment conducted in front of me. Like I feel like I'm in Hunger Games and I'm in the Capitol and I'm like watching chaos unfold and I'm like rooting for it. I'm like, yeah, steal our man. Like
You had said this
it's
in a
so
video where you're
intense.
like, it's the one place where you can be so fucking mean or just say exactly how you feel about like it's fine because
Yeah.
you're allowed to judge their decisions. And
Yeah.
like Muzi and I are watching it together, and you guys, if any of your men are telling you that they don't want to watch reality
bullshit.
TV, they're lying. They just don't know. They think it's like that, but then when they watch it, they're like this because I saw this girl say it's a release.
it is.
It's a release. After a long day, you get to come home and just like fucking all the shit you want to feel, you can feel it out.
And
on
it's
that.
happening. The thing with Love Island that's also like just chef's kiss is it's happening in real time. We're
real
like
time.
24 hours behind maybe, but like it's real time. Whereas like Jersey Shore, stuff like that,
Everything
they would
else
have
is
like
like a year
season.
later.
This is live. I feel like
It's like watching the Even Stevens movie where everybody's at home watching
yes,
him. What's his name in the Even Stevens?
Steven.
That's the
That's not
last
his name.
name. Even what the
And
fuck is
even
wrong?
Steven, his name was
It was not
Steven. Okay, tell your story. I'm gonna look it up.
Okay.
But you
know
felt
in
like
the
we were on-
movie okay, so like the whole Stevens family is on the island and they're, they think that it's reality.
Lewis.
So they think that it's real life, but they're on the island. And then at the end of it, it's like, aha, you were on a fucking game
That's
show.
what we're watching.
That's us. And it's like real time watching them like
Yes.
hungry and stressed and falling in love. And you're like, oh my God.
I also am like, not to be dramatic, but I'm like, we have
dramatic
community.
on the podcast.
We are one
drama.
as a nation. Like I have forgotten that like
hate the rest of the
like we
the world
are
is
so
falling apart.
locked in. And what you were saying earlier, so my husband does not watch Love Island, right? And first I was like, oh, nobody's husband watches Love Island. Like this is like the
this
girls
season,
are doing
I think is the most I've seen everybody's.
okay, because last
husbands
season I
jump
don't
on.
remember people like mans watching it, but I also wasn't like deep into it, right?
The guys that get it. But yeah, if they haven't yet, I feel like they're hopping on.
And my husband is someone who watched Jersey Shore, and he's like
Abdus and I, and you guys know me now. Abdus and I have the same taste in movies.
the same. His favorite movies are
If
like
it's a Saturday morning, I'll be like,
Along Came Polly. Like,
Hitch.
that's
He's like,
his jam.
Absolutely.
That's his go-to, growing ups. But he loves a rom-com. Like
loves a
he's so
rom-com.
in it. And I'm like, let's.
Can you
watch
imagine?
zombie
He doesn't
death,
even know what he's missing out on.
No.
Okay.
So guys, this will be a progression every episode.
Yes.
So it came up on his For You page, right? Huda crashing out, obviously. So he came up to me and was like, I heard Huda crashed out. And then I got excited. I was like, are you watching it? Because we have been, oh my God, guys, there's so much to talk about. We were just in Dallas.
Yep.
And in Dallas, both of our husbands were the only ones that couldn't come. We're going to get into it. It was a whole family trip, reunion, lovely, blah, blah, blah. But like back to the important shit. He came back and I guess we were watching it in Dallas and then he had gotten on his For You page. And then so he brought it up and I was like, oh my God, okay. Like, it's like, with like a kid, like a teenager where you're like, not too much. Because then they're gonna
like
get,
I don't want to
scared.
seem like too
I don't want to be too pushy. So let me like ease him into it, right? So I brought it up at dinner with his friends, with guys who I know watch Love Island.
Smart girl.
And they watch Love Island UK actually, because I wanted him to see that this is for everyone. This is like Game of Thrones, because when we were all on Game of Thrones, he wasn't watching Game of Thrones. So I want him to understand that this is that level.
You're part of the
here.
diaspora, the cultural
You are part of the
diaspora.
community right now.
Is that the right word?
Yeah.
Diaspora?
Yeah. So this is coming from me saying love is love is
So
island.
confidently.
Yeah, I'm like, absolutely.
Yeah.
But so then we're talking about Huda, I'm like going on the crash out, right? We went on a date night like a couple nights ago after we came back from Dallas, and the whole dinner I'm telling him about what's going on with Jeremiah and Huda and this and that. And normally he just like, I could see when he's losing interest, but like he's asking me about it. So
Because he's seeing them pop up. So like, once you get hooked, you naturally want to connect.
You want to know why they're crashing out.
Yeah.
Justin Bieber's doing the posts about it. Everybody's talking about it. So then last night when I was watching it, and last night's episode, I can't wait to get into it because it was so good.
Oh my God.
Last night's episode, I'm like,
for last night's episode, which it is, I don't know how to describe what episode it was, but it's the Olandria and Nick episode.
yes, that's all you need to know.
All you need to know. But watching that episode, I literally felt like a teenager watching the hills, like kicking my feet, like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
Dude.
Like, I haven't felt like that in so long.
Oh my God, yes. I was like, and also my TV doesn't have Peacock, so I have to watch it on my laptop.
But doesn't that kind of make you feel like you're in college again?
More into it. So I'm on the couch watching Peacock with my headphones in, and he's watching whatever he's watching.
And she does the noise canceling.
I'm locked in. I've got snacks. We're good. So I'm reacting, or I'm kicking my feet. I'm like going on. Also, I gave him like the whole lore because I very much so miss Jeremiah. I love Jeremiah. She doesn't get it.
No, like, okay, if you had to pick between Jeremiah and Charlie, who would you bring back?
Oh my God, that's a really hard question. But I think
this is my favorite question. I think
okay, this is hard because my initial answer would be they're both my type. But like
so
Charlie was like a
pick?
slower burn, and he's a little bit more tour-ish. But I think I would still pick Jeremiah.
Really? I literally was ready to say an accent's gonna get you every time.
That's true. You know what? It is because I was like. I was like indifferent to Charlie, but I thought he was okay.
Yeah.
But the episode when he was consoling Hannah when he left, leaving. I was like,
by the way, we're doing spoilers.
Oh,
we're doing spoilers. We're doing spoilers.
And if you're not caught up, get out.
No, catch up. You have time. Last season I joined.
No, I mean get out of here.
Oh yeah.
Come back to us when you're done catching up. I mean, don't make me hold
Yeah,
my
we
breath in
can't
my
hold
own
back,
home.
But we're only up to episode like 20, 21, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So last night when I'm like reacting, I'm like, Abdus, like, you don't even know, blah, blah, blah. And then he's like, what is it? So then I pause, I'm showing him on the screen.
Okay.
And then I'm like, okay, this is my moment. It's like when you're trying to put a baby to sleep, you're like, this is it. So I just took my headphones off, I click play, and I'm like describing what's happening. It's a full-on orgy. But I'm like, this person's in love with this person's best friend.
Oh my God, because that episode, they're all on, they're in the main villa, they're on top of each other in a pyramid
literally
making
in a
out. I was like,
pyramid. And I'm like,
that's not the part that had me giggling, by the way.
that's not. I mean, it could have been. That could be your thing. But I was like, and then he caught on.
That was the most insane thing I've ever seen. That whole challenge. I was like, oh my God, oh my God,
yeah.
oh my God.
Every time I thought it couldn't get
Sierra?
crazy. Shelly? That man was holding Shelly up with one hand, acrobatic style.
I sometimes really wish I was into women because I'm like, I want, like, you are so hot.
Sierra is not, Shelly is the most gorgeous woman I've ever seen in my entire life, laid my eyes upon. Alandria has the most, like, there's no body better. There's no physical body better.
On her Instagram today, and I was just like, you are, how?
Did you know I discovered today she's 5'3"?
Yeah, because when they picked her up in the challenge, they said she's the shortest. Also, all the men in this show are like so fucking tall because I looked up Ace's height because everybody was saying like,
yeah,
Shelly calls him a short king. And I'm like, oh my God, how tall is he? He's 5'10".
I told Abdus, I'm like, yeah, this like 5'3" guy. I'm like, because, this is how I lured him in. Okay. When Shelly was like my short king, I was like on national television. I loved it. I loved the moment. But I like paused and I was like, Abdus, like as a man, if you would like pretend we're dating and but
compared to someone 6'8",
so I said, but dude, he's such a freaking. I don't know if I'll keep this or not.
No,
but
keep it.
He literally was like, but I'm not that short, so I don't understand. And I'm like, empathy. It's called empathy. Put yourself in somebody else's shoes. I'm saying to you, if you and I are together,
his height,
right? I'm like, if you and I are together, he's like. I'm like, should I lie and make him taller? I'm like, he's like a happy 6. He's like a 5.
He's like a 5'11",
5'11". Yeah,
he's not 5'10".
Okay, 5'11". So I feel like if I'm under delivering, people will be like, oh, he's taller, you know?
Yeah.
So I'd rather that than people be like, bitch, your man is not 6'3". Please. So he's like, we know he's got a ponytail. Relax. Don't count that in the height. But he's
okay, so the thing is, because Ace said he's 5'10", what do you think he actually is?
Like, he's got to be like 5'7".
I'm not. Who's adding 3 inches?
Men. I just feel like also because
no, if he's saying he's 5'10", I think he's a cool 5'8.5".
You're being nice. That's nice. Like
really?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He's only taking 2 inches off. Yeah.
I feel like 1.5 inches, or if he wears like sneakers every single day, then he could maybe get away with being like 5'8".
Because I was basing it purely off of how far his legs are from the chair compared to everybody else's legs.
But that's what I'm
saying.
So
it made it seem like he was shorter.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I think they just cast really fucking tall guys. Just like they cast like the fittest. Oh my God, the like banging ass. Like, what do I say that's like appropriate?
There's no appropriate word for it. Incredible ass bodies. Incredible ass bodies. So that she brought that up. I was like, up this as a man, like, how would you feel if someone was if I called you a short king on television? Even for Nick to be like, how do you feel about him being tall? I was like, wow.
Actually, I thought they were all being normal. I thought the way Ace was responding was annoying. I was like, you could just respond normal and be like, what the fuck? Because he did crash out afterwards, like
at
jokingly.
The end. Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, just keep that energy. It's funny. Like, you know what I mean? He was just like, I don't care.
Yeah, but at the end, he knew to crash out. You obviously care.
Okay, speaking of, can we talk about Nick?
Yeah, we have to like circle back and talk about.
Dude, I'm torn. I have such a crush on him.
Dude, I love Nick. But I feel
he grew. You know what the worst type of love is, dude? The worst type of love. Because when you're instant like Jeremiah, if you're instantly like, oh, he's hot. I feel like you can get the ick over time. You can get the ick and be like, whatever. But Nick has grown on me over time so much that I'm like stuck now. I'm stuck.
And he's so funny. And here's the thing. I love Sierra.
Yeah.
I love Sierra. She's so
Sierra's
cool.
my favorite girl and Nick is my favorite boy. Just like vibe wise.
Okay.
But personality and like, I think Shelly is my other one. No, but I also love
Shelly, Alandria, and
because personality wise, actually
Sierra.
Alandria is probably, yeah, them three are also same, but
Them
for
three are
different
solid.
reasons.
Different
I like the
reasons.
Sierra's like soft and girly and blah, blah, blah. And I love that Shelly's like the coolest fucking bitch ever. And I love that.
confident,
Yes,
gorgeous.
dude. I love her like pace of talking even.
Yes.
And then Alandria's the strongest, coolest fucking, she's like the edgy bitch. Like I love all three of them for those reasons. Hannah, I was like, get the fuck out of here, dude.
Yeah.
Her little, with her tongue, you guys, I couldn't do it. I keep seeing people talk about Sierra's lips like on TikTok, but
Right.
I like it.
I don't mind them.
No, like, yeah, like I feel like she's pouty and people were saying that it kind of gives like, from Euphoria, Alexa.
Oh, yeah. But see, but I took it in an Alexa Demi way in like a hot, cool
That's
way.
what I'm
like,
saying
yeah,
too.
yeah.
But a lot of people are talking shit on it, and I'm like, I don't know.
No.
Am I? I think it's cute,
I like it. I like the way she
and
does
I
it.
love her vibe. Her
She's
makeup.
so cool.
fucking
She's
cute.
so fun. Her and Nick, they're just so of the same.
I know, but the chemistry that him and Olandria have.
He looks better with Alandria. I agree with the internet
Dude,
fully.
And you know what? Okay, I have been feeling that way for a while because have you seen all the hints?
Yes.
throughout? Because Moosey's been watching it with me, but he was shocked. He was like, oh my God, I didn't know he was into her. And I'm like, this man has been like a pop, like waiting for her to notice him
it's the
entire
yearning.
time.
It's the yearning.
It's the yearning. Dude, and then you know what felt like the most real moment that this is what I was like, oh, when he was sitting on their fucking date and what are the chances that and I'm like, is that production that did
Okay,
that?
so when I had posted my like that I'm watching it last night, guy not messaging was like they obviously set them up and like this is obvious fake, and I'm like, I don't care. First of all, I don't think it is because you can't fake this level of yearning.
No, but there were a lot of girls in a lot of comments being like, guy, is this like, oh, no, what's their like ship name?
Oh, Nicolandria.
Nicolandria. Such a good ship name. What
It
the
is a good
fuck?
name.
It's
Yeah.
such a good name. It's Nickelodeon mixed with an island. It's so good. But anyways, like they've got a brand going. But what the fuck was my point?
I don't know. You said because I was saying that it's such a production, and then
Oh,
some people-
yes. That people basically in the comments were like, okay, I was mad as fuck at production, but like, okay.
I was like,
do your
production
thing.
finally.
Yeah, because if they did do it, you have me. I'm
locked in.
sold. I'm sold. I don't even give a fuck if you did it. If you're doing it and you're creating magic for me, this is fucking Disneyland.
This is
for the mind.
And
So
honestly,
let
it
it
worked
be.
out because
I'm so happy when because you've been seeing the hints, but then when he says to her, he's like, I think you're the most fucking beautiful woman. Dude, oh my God.
And then he kisses her
she says,
hands.
and then she goes, really? And she's like, surprised. And he's like, I've told you that so many times. And I'm like, yes, you've told us so many times.
But in hints, he wasn't
yes,
as
but he said it to the
direct.
camera.
Yeah.
And he would say it to the camera, and then she was like, no, you didn't. And he's like, oh, you're right, I did it. And I was like, oh, that we all saw it happening. And then like, oh, I just loved it so much.
The kiss when she was blindfolded and he kissed her, she doesn't know that he kissed her.
Exactly. I heard that. She doesn't know that he kissed her in the blindfolded challenge. And she doesn't know that on camera multiple times he's been like, I think she's fucking beautiful.
but
I have amazing chemistry with her.
I'm so Nicolandria. And honestly,
But
I'm
see-
over Taylor. Taylor can go home, actually.
I love Taylor, dude.
He's funny. I get
He's
it.
also a slow burn. Like, not love, but I just feel like I enjoy
funny.
watching him.
He is funny, but he never liked Alandria like that.
I
He
know. I
literally
agree.
jumped over Alandria and jumped into Nick's arms. And I was like, dude,
oh my
come
God. Oh my
on.
God. I thought the same thing. I'm like, why are you carrying each other around in a merry-go-round and this girl who you haven't seen, don't know if she made it, nothing, is back here just looking at her like, hey.
You're like, hey. And then he's being scared to talk to her. And then he wasn't helping his case with asking Ace if it's okay to talk to her when she's eating. And it was just way too
just
much.
really
But
sweet,
I
dude.
am scared about, okay, again, I ship Nicolandria so much. I was like kicking my feet, twirling
Sierra-
around in
dude.
love. But I'm scared about Sierra because I'm like, okay, the girls cried about Alandria like as if she died. You know, like the crying.
that one,
is that on every season? Is it always like that?
the crying this season has definitely like when Amaya
Maya.
cutie. I don't remember who went. It was the first time that all of the Islanders had to like pick the person to go home.
And they were acting like they were going to shoot them. We don't want to do this though.
No. I was like, oh my God, that was a lot. Like they get sad and they're like stressed the fuck out. But that's the first time. But I haven't watched every season. Last season's the only season I've watched. Yeah, I'm over here. No, last season's when I started.
I was like, okay, that's what I'm saying. It feels like a science experiment because I'm like, you have these people quarantined. They have no TV. They have nothing going on. So like, yeah, for them, it must feel like so intensified. But
of course, I do get that. I was talking to Muzi about that too. I'm like, 100% it's intensified. 100%.
For sure. So I'm
everybody's
like, for
best
Sierra,
and worst self is coming out.
Because Nick has not been vocal outwardly, he's never pulled her for a chat or anything. I'm like, to Sierra, this is gonna come kind of out of the fucking blue because it's like,
of course it is,
and she's crying over Alandria, like that's her best friend. Exactly. Like that's gonna be really hard.
And she in the episode where like they go to Casa and she's the one that she like is just like crashing out over, is Nick making a connection or not? And she was like sick to her stomach about it. I literally was like, oh no, like please don't. Like for every girl that Nick was even slightly building a connection with in that whole time, I was like, please don't do that to her. Because I thought their connection was like, oh my God, there's something that could grow here. It's not there, but it could grow here, and they so cute. And I love her and she loves him so much. But watching Olandria and him,
I'm so sorry, Sierra, but you have to like sacrifice yourself, like.
But like no, dude. If I was her, I would do.
No. It's gonna be really hard tonight. We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. But like watching Nick and Alandria together is
the
just
kiss
too good.
They had Amna. That's when I was kicking my feet. I was like, oh, their kiss was so good.
Oh my God, it was so good. And he was like, it was, and she and her being like, oh, Nicholas, like
Nicky
Poo. Like, oh
she said Nicky, and then he said, it's Nick to you now. So, my God, I loved it so much. And something about Nick.
It's just so funny where I'm like, we're like yearning. We're like, they're in love. But no, I really do love them together. It's so good. But you were saying something about Nick?
I just love him.
Yeah,
like okay, I will say I love in a man when they have like lines on their eyes.
Yeah.
Like crow's feet on their eyes, and then like deep smile lines.
Very
like
handsome.
I think it's so cute.
Yeah. No, and Nick is just so
like
funny.
even my husband. Muzi is starting to get like lines around his eyes, and he's starting to get some gray in his beard, and I'm like, oh my God, finally.
Poor guy's like stressed out of his mind.
He's
getting
stressed.
grays.
He's working all day.
And you're like,
just
yeah.
like literally when we were at his friend's Nika the other day, I was like, oh my God, finally. And he was like, please. Like
he's like
32. I can't.
The cost it took to get to this. That's so funny.
Right, I feel like I mean it's the whole thing, aging.
Yeah, and the salt and pepper and the George Clooney's
it's
of
so
that.
upsetting. It's so frustrating. It's so upsetting. But whatever.
When that Halloween when we dressed up as old people.
There was a Halloween. Opportunity.
Yeah.
There was a Halloween 2019. It was 2019. And we dressed up as
old people.
Yeah, old people.
Senior citizens.
And it was the most fun we've had.
And we were so comfortable. And it was so funny because Sana and I are wearing like granny outfits and slippers and we're comfortable.
Yeah.
But like we looked like our actual grandmothers. Like we really cosplayed our grandmas.
We really did.
And then Muzi and Abdus, they look like they like own a yacht somewhere.
Especially before we put the outfits on. When when Amna and I did our face makeup to look older and put the wig on, and the boys had the salt and pepper and like we did their face to look old. Yeah, they looked phenomenal.
Amazing. We were like, we love this.
And then we looked at ourselves and we looked 85 and they gave like 57.
56. Yeah. Close. And so that was really,
that was so humbling.
Yeah.
But then that was such a fun Halloween. We went out to Wrigley and like everywhere we went, we had canes. Like the boys had canes and we had like a walker.
Oh my God.
And we were wearing sneakers. So everywhere we went, we were dancing. We were having a great time. We were living. This was also pre-pandemic.
Yeah.
Everybody was living. Everybody loved the costumes. It was like the most comfortable.
Fun. I think it was my first TikTok.
Really?
I have like 10, but like I remember like being excited about that. But anyways, back to Love Island. This Nicolandria situation, I need it to happen. And I'm very scared about tonight. And I'm very scared. And I actually need Austin to get off screen.
Do you think we talked about it? Dude, yeah, now enough.
The last 2 I was gonna say evaluations.
You're definitely evaluating them.
The last 2 whatever. Like, he needed to go home, Austin.
Also, you know how like they have the Instagrams for the Islanders?
Yeah.
Like all their friends are doing it. Sometimes I love seeing it, but I am like, okay, what if it's my friend and I'm like, what the fuck are you saying?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I was thinking
You know what
that
I mean?
too.
Like,
Yeah.
what if I'm like, okay, like, do they talk about a vibe?
Yeah.
Or like
yeah.
how many times? Because I feel like some of them I keep seeing like too much, and I'm like, okay.
I literally this morning went through every single one of their Instagrams. And then Amaya doesn't have someone running her Instagram, I heard. So I was like, oh, Amaya. You know, Amaya really grew on me. The first two episodes, I was like, Amaya.
Amaya is starting to grow on me.
Okay.
She's starting to grow on me. But yeah,
in the beginning, it was a lot.
And I know it's easy to be like, oh, well, because of Ace. But no, I just was like, okay, just like chill.
No, because I was like, you're being so nice to these guys and so affectionate, and they are like giving you nothing.
So stop
it's
giving
like,
that much to
Yeah,
them.
it's like doing a lot, right?
Yeah.
So that, and then we don't want to do this. So at that moment, I was like, am I like a bitch? Because I'm like, you need to relax.
Yeah,
They're not gonna
I
shoot
agree.
Them. They're not
I just
gonna
was like, you're
sacrifice.
just animated.
It just felt,
right?
yeah, she was very animated. So I was just kind of like, okay, Amaya.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was like, Amaya, dude, she's so nice.
Dude,
like,
the moment that she, oh my God, this literally fucking broke me. The moment that she was standing up in Casa, and after all the shit that happened with Ace, and then Austin like immediately being turned off by her, which I didn't understand at all. She's so much better than him. And then she's standing there and no one stood on her heart. And she was trying so hard not to cry. She was like standing tall and trying really hard not to cry. And I was like, and then I don't know, they're like, how do you feel about being the only one that didn't get picked at all? And I'm like, stop.
dude, and she's so stunning. She's so stunning. You know, for me, the turning point was when Austin like switched up on her, because before I just thought she's this animated girl.
Yeah, she's a little annoying, but
silly,
she's really cute.
you know, silly guy.
Yeah.
And I was like, they make so much sense together. Like they're
And it's
like,
okay if they didn't get along, but him just being like, ugh, like she's just so, it's like, shut
he
the
literally
fuck
just
up.
jumped on Ace's fucking train and was
Dick?
like, oh yeah, literally, and was like, oh yeah, she's just way too much. And I'm like, these are all the things you were telling her were the best parts about her, which they are. You were like meditating with her in the morning.
First time Ace picked her, I'm like, you were just playing a, so sorry guys, I'm like, you were just playing a game because you obviously like Shelly more, so you're just trying to be cute, because like, why the fuck did you pick her? Then anybody else could have picked her. And the start of her experience would have been so different, because I keep thinking this about Huda and her and all of them, but like most of them don't come in crashing out. You just either they grow on you, or you're like meh, or you love them. But like for the ones that start out with like really shit first impressions, it is so hard to then like be like, okay, like that's not, I thought you were like this, you're not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because even with Huda, I'm like starting to, okay, maybe she just like, that was a lot for her and she needs help for sure.
Yeah. Here's the thing with Huda, like Huda crashing out with the way she with Jeremiah, I was like, okay, that's a lot, but in like a whatever, call me toxic way, if it was just a Jeremiah and Huda fight, I'd be like, all right, like we can move past this, right? Like find somebody else, blah, blah, blah. Huda keeps biting herself in the ass where she's like not, like when she's like, oh, he said he wants to move in together. Like when she's changing the story around on her own individual self, I'm like, Huda, you're making it really hard. You're making
it really hard. She does. She makes it really, really hard. And then there are moments where I'm like, who was it that TJ to Huda was like, you know, I'm just not feeling this. And I just want to tell you, she wouldn't let it go.
Yeah.
She's like, but why? But why? But like what? Like, I'm like, dude.
Also, I stand on the hill that if Huda stayed, Jeremiah absolutely should have stayed. I don't see why they kicked him out. There's no reason why he had to leave. But I am kind of glad, because I feel like now he can see what was going on, you know, leading up, and it's giving more clarity.
Since he's been off, the way he's been like talking in interviews and stuff is so much more normal than what he was like in the show.
Dude, every single one of them, Bella, Hannah.
Bella too?
Yeah, dude. I feel like
Bella, I thought was like, you good?
Bella
She just
talked
was a
like
little
that girl.
weird.
I've seen the clips everywhere where it's like that girl who was like, and if your mom's in the hood, like that Canadian girl, that's like, you better something that you know, like she's like has like a really thick Canadian accent. So I felt like
Canadian?
No, she's Hawaiian.
Oh yeah, that's
So
what I thought. Okay.
but when they do their interviews, even Hannah, like I feel like they're talking way more normal, way more relaxed. And I get it. You know, you're on camera. You probably like there's a lot of adrenaline.
I bet you being on camera is like at the bottom of that list. Number one is you have no fucking personal space at any point ever. You're on a extremely hot island where you have to like, hopefully these guys make you some kind of decent ass meal and wash the pans correctly.
Yeah.
Like I keep thinking about that. I'm like, so are you guys all using the same shower? Isn't that fucking disgusting?
Yeah, I mean, there's many reasons why I couldn't be on Love Island.
No, but you know what I mean?
But
It's
one of the
most
big
that.
things is I'm
It's
like,
not even
what's
the
the
cameras.
schedule? Like, what time do they wake you guys up?
Who's fixing their nails? Because I saw today, I was looking and I'm like, ooh, they need nail touch-ups, which obviously where the fuck are they? Like, you know what I mean?
I was thinking about that when I got my eyebrows done 2 days ago. I'm like, they're out there for a while. Like, who's doing their eyebrows?
Or fixing their hair for them or anything.
yeah.
Like, where's the maintenance? Is there maintenance?
No.
I saw somebody be like, where the fuck are the I think it was Teffy, where she was like, where the fuck are the vapes? Maybe it wasn't, somebody else. And I'm like, yeah, I thought about that because I'm like, there's no way all these people don't fucking vape or smoke or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I heard that they have to quarantine for like 2 weeks leading up to it. I
Even
heard.
now?
No, like before they get on the show, that they're like hanging out for like 2 weeks or a week at a hotel, and they have like no phone, or like they're like already start the
That makes sense.
process.
Yeah, because I feel like, yeah. And I seriously, the no personal space thing, the sleeping next to someone, not knowing who the fuck you're going to sleep with, and then having to be constantly sleeping with and waking up to people. And then the challenges are a whole nother.
God forbid you have to fart. Literally, we were talking about this the first episode where I was like, dude, these girls are in bathing suits exclusively. How do you not bloat? How do you not have a weird wedgie? You know what I mean?
Yeah, they look
like
so good, dude.
they look good all the time.
really do.
So
Yeah. It's like,
also, I'm like,
tier-ass
how far into
oh,
that
I have a
story?
hot take. Or can I be
Say
a
it,
bitch? And it's
please.
about Love Island.
Okay.
Should I do it now since we're at 35?
Sure.
Did we ever even
We didn't
finish?
even talk about Dallas.
I'm just going to do my can I be a bitch?
Yeah, like give your hot take because it's still on Love Island. So like,
Hot take.
yeah, hot
Can
take.
I be a bitch? I think Vanna is super fucking cute. Her body is phenomenal. She's I really love the way she talks, her vibe. I think she's super fucking cute. But dude, she is 21 years old and she has way too much work done. Like way too much work done. And what kills me is she's so fucking dainty. You know what I mean? Like she seems so petite and dainty. So I'm like, why did you and at 21?
At 21.
Dude, I'm like 21. Like it's also that you're so young that you at 21, whatever decisions you're making,
Yeah.
you're gonna change your mind.
And she's obviously been doing it way
I
before.
saw that. I think people were saying that she started at like 16.
So it makes me sad because I'm like, you're 21 years old. You're obviously putting yourself out in the world and you're not seeing the nasty comments, which you shouldn't, but like people are posting some really nasty shit.
Yeah,
right?
and yeah, she shouldn't see the nasty comments.
But
100%,
it's also
but
like at some point, you know, it is scary to see because it's like she doesn't even see
I
what
know.
what we're seeing.
I just feel like it shouldn't. Is that fucked up? Like it shouldn't be allowed to get
Yeah.
that much work done at 21. You guys, I just don't think.
or
it
like
should
who
be
was
allowed.
giving it to her at 16?
Yeah, dude, I don't know.
Like you should not
maybe
be
she
16.
has an injector in her face. I don't know, maybe.
Maybe.
But I just, yeah. But she did say she's like a Salt Lake City, Utah girl, and how she's like 100% the template of like a Utah girl.
it's like a thing there.
Which I get. I get. And I feel like because we live in Chicago, I do think that we're like the least exposed to work. Like I feel like every other major city.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
I get that, like, compared
do
to
feel
Miami and stuff
yeah,
like that,
100%
yeah.
compared to like Miami or New York. And I think a lot of people's work is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I actually love Sierra's Lips, and I'm sure a lot of them have work done. I think a lot of their work is phenomenal. But I feel like specifically Huda and Vanna, I'm like, dude, you guys are really fucking young. And to have like
Yeah.
BBLs done and you're because Vanna has like lips, cheeks, chin, her boobs, like everything is done. I'm
Everything
like,
is
you're
done.
21. You haven't even had time to process what those decisions would mean.
Yeah.
And you're getting, and it's not like you're I even feel like I would rather, if it was my, like whatever, I would rather deal with a tattoo than I would deal with getting work done that I'm like, fuck, I shouldn't have gone that far.
Yeah.
That young.
And again, like I'm looking at the people around her where I'm like, your friends need to do better. Because they knew you were going on television.
Yeah, that's
They
true.
knew you were going on television and they didn't say
But
anything.
so it's got to be like normal.
Maybe
gotta
it's
be
normal there,
Yeah,
but
maybe.
still. And the producers didn't know what they were doing. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
also was like, you know,
Well, but and then I was like, maybe in person it's less intense. Maybe.
yeah,
You know,
maybe.
I feel bad talking shit on a woman too.
That's what I'm saying. 'Cause
But like,
feel
I just
bad.
feel like to be 21 and getting that much work done, I'm like, dude,
That's
because
rough.
now because I have cousins and nieces and nephews and like 16.
I know, and 21 is such a baby.
Yeah, it's young. It's
21 's
really young.
such a
And I'm not saying to
baby.
get some work done, but to get like that much work done.
Yeah. In a way that, again, no one's stopping her.
I'm curious about if other people think the same thing. I'm so curious.
feel
Or
like
if you're
they
like,
do.
what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Did you feel like in last season they had to put out as many disclaimers about the bullying and stuff as they have this season?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, because I feel like twice this season, Love Island, like the page has posted something about like, please don't be mean, you know, please be nice. Yeah, it was during Huda and Jeremiah's crash out, and then now ever since Vanna's stuff has been coming out.
Oh, really? I didn't know it was like that.
And maybe it's not for Vanna, maybe they just mean in general, but I know they put out a statement, and I think it was initially
I
when
think
Jeremiah.
people are getting insane though. Like I did see Ariana talk about where it's like she wasn't saying about, well, she was saying comments and stuff too, but her point was stop reaching out to these people's families.
Yeah.
Like I feel like when people on the internet get that passionate, that's scary.
That is scary.
You need to,
and there's
you
no
need to tone it down and touch grass. It's supposed to be entertainment.
Yeah.
But you guys are gonna cancel and scare everyone out of entertaining. Like,
yeah.
slow down.
For the right reasons,
Slow
because
down.
that's too much. Okay, so we've done our Love Island deep dive.
Did a whole roundabout, and now we're back at
Dallas. So we went to Dallas last weekend.
Last weekend, Thursday, which is Juneteenth.
Yeah, Juneteenth. Yeah, so Juneteenth to Sunday, we were in Dallas for a couple of days, and it was our entire mom's side of the family.
So let me tell you all the characters.
Yes.
It's me, Amna, my siblings, Rabi and Osman, my mom, Samia, Amna's brother who lives in Dallas, which is where we were all going, Mustafa. Amna's dad, Asif, was there too. And then our Khala, which is our mom's youngest sister. I won't say her name. She'll probably be like, what the hell is wrong with you? And then her two kids, Hafsa and Basid, which are our cousins. Because now the boys can never say like that we act like they're not in our lives. Okay?
Right.
So that's all of them. And we, did I say my sister? Yeah. So all of us besides Mustafa went to Dallas on one flight, except for my brother. He came on the flight after us. But you guys know how I am about flight anxiety.
This is our first time as a family going on a plane together.
Yeah.
Our very first time as a family on this side of the family to go on a plane together. We were so excited. We literally are like talking about how each of us is booking the ticket. And Sana in the middle of the group chat is like, guys, if all of us are on the plane and the plane goes down and we're all dead, it'll just be Abdus and Muzi and Usman. And we're like, oh, my
crazier things have happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
crazier things have happened.
We're like, dude.
But the problem is that it's my actual first thought. Because when I said it to you guys, that was me having restraint. That was me like, calm down, wait, let everyone book their ticket. Let's all be excited first. I did all of that first. And then I said it. Okay. So had flight anxiety, whatever. We get there, we get coffee and food. And then we get on the plane. We get on the plane and someone
yes, I was like, I'm still at the we're all gonna die part.
We met a listener. She stopped me and said she was so fucking cute and she was on our flight and she was like, do you have a podcast? And Amna was right in front of me. We're like talking shit.
We're like
the plane,
in line,
literally
getting on the plane, boarding, and she's sitting on an aisle seat.
Yes, and she stopped me and then I tap. I'm like, Amna,
look, and I'm like, what? With like my bags and whatnot. And I'm like,
and you guys. It was such a fun moment because, so imagine the rest of the plane is like, who the fuck?
We're on Spirit. Just so
we're
everybody
going
knows.
to the back of the plane.
Yeah.
We're literally on our way to the back.
Yeah.
We only have personal items because we were not about to pay for a bag for a 3-day trip to Dallas. Okay. And we're literally, I'm not joking, every fucking white person around her is like, who the fuck are they?
They're all looking at us like, not these bitches.
Like, yeah,
they're not
like,
important.
Do we know them?
Yeah.
We definitely don't know them.
And we're so excited.
Everyone's seating is, have you noticed that? It's like a theater. They're all watching you like.
Yeah. Also because you're going all the way to the back. So it's like that awkward thing.
Yeah, and you're like, excuse me, sorry.
Yeah. So when Senna tapped my shoulder, I thought I like hit somebody with my bag or something. I was like, oh, my bad. And so when she said, she's like, oh, I listened to your podcast. I really want to say your name, but I'm scared that like maybe she doesn't want to say your name. But you know who you are.
Yeah,
but like she was so nice and she was so sweet and she's like, yeah, I watch it. And I literally was like, okay.
You guys,
I was like, Sana, we like sat down and I was like, so I'm gonna go find her when they let go of the seatbelt thing. I'm gonna be like, so what's your favorite episode?
I was like, don't scare people.
Sana literally says to her, she's like, this never happens to her because it really doesn't. I was like, stop it. Do you want to come live in my house? Like, I kept it cool. And then cute. Very quickly we sat down and then it's Sana's like, we're gonna die again.
No, and you know what the problem is, you guys, if you know me like from before, this part of my life. Being
Frequent
at
flyer.
airports and going on flights was like actually one of my favorite things to do. Like I thoroughly enjoyed going to the airport early and getting something to drink and just sit and like read my book or watch an episode of something. Like I really loved it. Like I would look forward to the airport and flight part of the trip as much as the actual trip, if not more.
Yeah.
And now I'm such an anxious, fucking paranoid, anxious ass person. I hate that about the 30s.
Your frontal lobe developed, you know?
Yeah,
Too risky.
literally hate that about the 30s, but whatever. All the unhealed, unresolved trauma in my life fucking hit me like a ton of bricks, and I have anxiety. And I am on this flight, and my cousin Hafsa is a young, just blossomed into
Prime
23.
23.
She's young. She has yet to, you know, explore the world on her own.
Yeah. The world is her oyster.
The world is her oyster.
Yeah.
And she's sitting next to me, and we have this shtick and bit where like Hafsa rejoined our life. It's a story for another time. Rejoined our life like a few years ago. And it just so happens that at that point, Amna and I are like married, settled, entering our 30s. So she doesn't know our lore. She doesn't know our lore.
See, also,
She
even
didn't
when
see
we
us in our
were like
prime.
20 to like 20, whatever, 5, like even those years, she was in like middle school, high school.
Yeah, what
You
were
know
we going to
I mean?
show her, tell
right,
her?
Right.
But you know, the thing is, we could have showed her the world.
We would
have showed her the
coulda,
world,
woulda,
you guys.
yeah.
But she's now 23. And so anyways, we get to have fun with her. But there's a part of us that she'll never know. And we're always so salty
We're
about
always
that.
trying to prove it to her.
Yeah, we're like, we were really cool. And she's like, fucking relax. So anyways, it just so happens that on this flight, it's me, then Hafsa, then Amna. And